A physical lock is only as secure as its record-keeping. A spare key cut years ago for an abandoned door becomes a liability. Software environments contain thousands of these unmonitored access points. Organizations create temporary API tokens and test credentials for projects that eventually lose funding or priority. This creates a specific vulnerability for platforms like Klue, a market intelligence provider that requires deep access to its corporate customers' data to function. The security of a system depends on more than its active defenses. It relies on the lifecycle of every credential ever issued. In June 2026, an extortion group calling itself Icarus successfully breached Klue's core infrastructure. The attackers bypassed the perimeter without using sophisticated malware. They didn't need to discover a zero-day exploit to gain entry. This timeline identifies the specific entry point, a test credential created for a 2022 prototype integration. While the project was abandoned years ago, the authorization remained active and unmonitored. This single oversight provided a direct path into Klue's backend systems, granting the intruders access to the vendor's internal repository. To generate market insights, Klue requires a persistent connection to its customers' Salesforce CRM environments. This logical breakdown shows the connection using the OAuth protocol. Instead of a master password, the customer provides a delegated pass, similar to a valet key. This limits Klue's reach to specific datasets while blocking access to core infrastructure. Serving hundreds of clients, Klue accumulated a massive repository of these active tokens. Once Icarus reached this repository, they gained the ability to query client databases as if they were the vendor itself. This attack path demonstrates why traditional defenses like multi-factor authentication failed. The intruders moved through a pre-authorized side door that authentication checks never guard. The CRM logs process the data requests as routine, approved actions coming from a trusted partner. Using automated Python scripts, the Icarus extortion group queried dozens of different client CRMs simultaneously, operating at superhuman speed. They exfiltrated business data, including contact names, work emails, phone numbers, and pricing details from every accessible organization. In a single afternoon, the intruders emptied dozens of corporate databases without triggering a single security alert. The list of affected companies includes Huntress, HackerOne, Recorded Future, Tanium, Jamf, Snyk, BeyondTrust, and LastPass. These organizations specialize in breach detection and threat intelligence. They are among the most security-conscious teams in the world. The loss was confined to business data. Because the OAuth tokens were strictly scoped, the attackers could not access customer password vaults or core systems. This incident shows that modern cloud architecture contains systemic risks that even high-tier security monitoring can miss. This structural comparison proves that the Klue breach followed a familiar pattern. The mechanics are identical to the 2025 Salesloft Drift campaign, which impacted over 700 companies. The industry is seeing the same playbook used against different middlemen. Modern enterprise security now includes every SaaS integration an organization has ever authorized, regardless of how long ago the project ended. Organizations must audit their OAuth grants, map fourth-party risks, and decommission credentials as soon as a project is completed. Icarus demonstrated that complex encryption is rarely the point of failure. The most effective intrusions simply leverage the digital legacy left over from an unmonitored test project.